Hello everybody and welcome back to another big update video. I'm your host Floyd and today I'm delighted to be joined by CEO of Cyara, Rishi Rana. So welcome today Rishi, I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing good. How about you?
Yeah, good. Really glad to have you on the platform today. I know it's been a long time coming, so it's good to get you on. So, as with all of these big update videos, it's really important for us to kind of like talk through the people behind these platforms. So, it'd be great, I think, to kick off today if you could share a bit about your professional background and maybe what aspects of your job say you're most passionate about.
Good question. Yeah, I think by my professional background, I've been in this industry for over 25 years. I'm a technocrat by education, did computer science, and then worked at Microsoft for the longest part of my life in the early part of my career. The latter part of my career, in the last 12 years or so, I've worked with run different businesses for private equity ownerships. Have had two good exits. The last one, I was pretty lucky to be at least part of an IPO, and now part of Cyara, and taking been here for about 2 years and driving this forward.
Nice, brilliant. And what would you say you typically enjoy the most about your job?
What I enjoy most about this current job is the whole customer experience place. Look, I mentioned I'm a technocrat, and I've been in product management area for a very long period of my life where I love solving problems. So part of that problems, we always solve problems for what the customer needs. And there could not have been a better company for me to own, to be a leader and run this as part of Ciara, because we look at customer experiences across a large set of enterprises, the Fortune 2000 that is. And it's so good to hear from what changes are coming in, what challenges they are facing, and how we, from Ciara perspective, can make an impact.
Yeah, definitely. And could you describe Ciara in a nutshell for those that might not have heard us, and maybe talk a little bit about the history, geographical presence and overall size? I think it's good to get some context sometimes behind the company.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Ciara is the leading organization. It's an AI-led customer experience platform that helps with productivity, growth, and assurance. Now, we help global enterprises, like I mentioned, the Fortune 2000, the Microsofts and Googles, and others of the world as well, including the banks and healthcare companies, where we are able to proactively test, monitor, optimize customer journeys end to end across any kind of platform, voice, digital, the new emerging AI channels, so they can deliver flawless experiences every time to their end customers. Look, imagine you are calling a bank, for example, and instead of a smooth service, it happens to me a lot of time, happens to my wife as well. We keep saying, "Hey, representative, I don't want to keep pressing the buttons, so keep talking to the voice bot that is talking to me." So that's where Ciara comes in. We are the customer experience safety net behind the scenes. We're testing, we're monitoring, we're fixing your contact center, your chat bots, your AI bots, so that before your customers even notice something is off. Uh,
Mm.
think of us as a QA team of your customer service that didn't even know it desperately needed us. Uh, so we are behind the scenes again. We're helping global enterprises avoid outages, detect issues before customers do, and ultimately ensure that the lives up to the brand promise, whatever your brand is. Uh, I think the second part you asked was about the geographical presence and the history. Look, Ciara has been in the industry for over 20 years, uh, and it started off on the synthetic part of digital automation when things were going on. As we now shift, the world shifts towards from a digital transformation to uh, agentic AI transformation. That's where we are coming in. So
Mm.
we have gone all the way from synthetic to now being evolved dramatically as the world evolves. A little bit about the company again. We have over 450 Fortune 1000 companies, including say seven of the 10 largest banks, six of the largest tech companies. I mentioned a few of them just now, and for a healthcare perspective, 8 out of 10 largest health insurance and healthcare companies as well. So we spread across all verticals, and specifically where enterprises have complex customer needs globally, we cover about 110 countries as well are networked, are able to, and about 300 carriers.
Yeah, brilliant. And just on that, obviously, you across a lot of sectors. So do you see kind of like similar trends in kind of like CX pain points, if you like, and all of that areas where industries as a whole are improving more than maybe in others?
Yeah. I mean, overall, I do feel that from an overall perspective, if you're asking in terms of how are we attacking, yes, the world is evolving towards, as I mentioned, towards from a digital transformation. In the I would say, I mean, this might be my prediction in terms of in the last 10 years, as I was part of many board meetings, the talk was about digital transformation. The next 10 years, as we continue to evolve, is going to be about that agentic AI transformation. So that's number one. That is where the transformation and execution is coming in, where we need to drive with energy, empathy, and should I say, disciplined execution. Uh, I think the second part to it is where everybody needs that flawless experience end to end across channels. Uh, you could be coming in from an iPad, you could be going through your phone, or you could be coming through a browser, or you could be coming through an app, but you might have the same questions. You're late for catching your flight, you want to change your tickets, it could be any business problem that a customer is trying to solve. You can come from different channels, but your experience needs to be that flawless and it needs to be same. You shouldn't have to hear that all our lines are busy and you'll have to wait in the line for 30 minutes, or I can call you back in 45 minutes. Those aspects of it, no business wants to. It happens because of all the complexity of the workflows globally, etc. And that's where we come in, where we are able to streamline that end-to-end workflow, end-to-end customer experience across. So that's the third piece. The fourth piece being it's continuous testing and monitoring. We cannot take it for granted. In today's world, products are being launched, changes are being launched, and newer aspects are being displayed. A bank is launching a new credit card, and airlines is changing the way they are going about few rules about baggage. Let's take there could be multitudes of things that you would want to make sure that the customer is coming to the right location to get their queries answered, because as we all know, and that's the studies have shown, which is a latest Gartner study that came out, customers are willing to pay 76% of the customers are willing to pay more for the same service if they get good customer service. So I think with that focus and with the global nature of how things are, it is important to have those parameters, or those, should I say, under which we focus to provide our products and solutions.
Yeah, definitely. And so from a Cyara perspective, what are your key products and technologies to kind of like address these pain points and the CX field, and what features make them kind of relevant in today's ever evolving business environment?
Yeah, no, a very good question. So look, I think we have four areas overall. Our products, we have a platform that constitutes of 10 products that are divided into four sections. The first section is about transforming your customer experience. So we have products that help transform. Then we have products that monitor, because as I mentioned earlier, it is about continuous testing and monitoring. You can't be just one and done and hope that everything works okay, because network could change, the products launched could change, the configurations could change. Between the voice bots that are powered by the large learning models that are coming in today, your IVR, which is your interactive voice response systems, are now being powered by LLMs that are out there, the llamas and the mistrals and the chat GPTs of the world. So if they are continuously changing, how do you monitor and come back and fix it and continue to drive forward? So you're optimizing that. And that's where we come in. And last but not the least, on the fourth segment of it is the connect piece, where if you're using the WebRTC technology, so we have everything from testing to monitoring to optimizing.
Yeah, brilliant. Oh, go on. Sorry. Yeah.
No, yeah, I was just going to say that, I think we have also come up with newer six new law, which we are launching actually next month, which our innovations are, we're calling this product Pulse 360. 360 from a perspective that you get the pulse of the customer, and number two, you get the 360 view of it, whether it's the telecom piece, whether it's the deep down IVR piece, whether it is any channel. So it will give you that real time monitoring, proactive monitoring, and then making sure that you're able to change that. Uh, and we are a no code to low code solution. So we've just launched another test case designer as an example, where you can drag and drop and easily create all the testing, the flows, the business workflows to suit the business needs. We're focused. My product management team is focused. As I tell them that the my 15-year-old should be able to use the product, so we are trying to make sure that it is with that simplicity that we are stepping into the market again and making sure that we continue to evolve.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you for covering that off. Greatly appreciated. And also another question enterprises typically have is around implementation strategy. So I think it'd be great if you could cover off what your typical implementation strategy looks like, and then also moving on from implementation, how the ongoing support and customer success post implementation is handled by you guys.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's a quite a loaded question. So let me. Uh, you see, the strategy involves ensures that our customers not only deploy Cyara, the 10 products on our platform, but continuously grow with it, expanding
Hmm.
the coverage, increasing that automation that I'm talking about, and optimizing experience with testing that maturity over time. Now, I think it's about five phases or five, sort of pillars of it. The first one is a phase-based outcome, so which is broken down into three things, which is foundation. So we set up the foundation, the platform, the integrations, the access controls, etc. The second, we do what is from a use case activation, so targeted activations across highest priority of the customer journeys. So we do regression, proactive things. The third phase is expansion. So now that you've got the base done, how do you add more use cases, deeper automation, and adoptions across? Now, this approach in three phases helps us quick wins and then building on the foundation that continues to scale. The second pillar is, you mentioned about the pieces outside of the implementation, which is we have dedicated customer success and solution architects. So each customer is assigned with that dedicated customer success manager, a solution architect who can serve as a strategic advisor on technical leads, drive adoption against defined KPIs. Each business will have their KPIs. Within large businesses that we are talking about, these trillion-dollar businesses, each one has a separate business unit and they're driving it differently. So we are able to, and what we do then is a monthly review and a quarterly QBR to realign the priorities as businesses change. Uh, Proactive support model is another one. I mean, we have we provide 24 by 7 global support for all predictive health monitoring, alerting, identifying, resolving issues. You could have a issue, say, in Florence in Italy. You could have it in Manchester in your neck of the woods. We would be able to pinpoint exactly where things are breaking, and we could actually be able to fix that. Net of it, our fifth and the last one that I would say is in those pillars is customer-led innovation, right? I think I take pride, we take pride when in learning from the customers on their roadmaps. We have advisory councils, we have data programs, but learning from the customers is fundamental to how we continue to grow our products.
Yeah, definitely. And just to stick on the customers for a while, perhaps it's another loaded question, so apologies for that in advance. But we're always talking about how like technology's evolving and innovating as we move on. But to go backwards, how would you say customers' needs have changed over the years? Because obviously innovation is driven by customer need, but also sometimes customer needs driven by the innovation. So it's a bit of a tricky one to unpick sometimes.
Yeah. The world around us is changing and changing fast. Obviously, everybody, and I say that everybody and their moms are talking about AI, and they are a part of it. Look, we in the customer experience space have been disrupted and impacted the most in that area. So what I see constantly as, I mean, I'll say three or four things come to my mind. Number one is AI driven transformation. Again, I'm not trying to beat up a dead horse, but customers are actively exploring how to integrate AI into your CX operations, whether through agent assist, whether through intelligent QA, bot testing. There's a strong interest, and that's where we come in. We have created a product modules called AI Trust. So no matter what AI, your LLM you're using, whether it's Gemini from Google or OpenAI's ChatGPT, or you're using Mistral or Llama from Meta and Facebook, we look across and we are able to help validate and provide that AI-driven experiences. Again, we are the insurance platform because we are agnostic to no matter what contact center you're using. We can integrate with all the contact centers that are available today. And we are expanding now towards the CRM and the help desk tools because the customer journey is end to end.
Mm.
The second trend from that angle, I would say, is proactive monitoring. Because it's the insurance, it's the compliance that is needed. I think in healthcare, in financial things, in banking, you need to reduce that risk and compliance, right? I should not be able to come to a chatbot or a voice bot and trick that voice bot of Bank of America to me to pretend you, and hopefully you have a lot of money and I can actually take that money away from you. So I should not be able to misuse this. I should not be able to trick into it. I should not be, all these cards today have keyless entry. You can actually talk to the voice bot in case you lose something in order to get into somebody's car as well. So there are so many compliances and risks that are prevalent across, and that's where we come in. Uh,
Mm.
the world is evolving into the third thing I would say is into continuous testing and monitoring. As budgets, sort of tighten up between CIOs because everybody has to produce more with the same level of tool stacks that are available. So how we are coming in, we actually create millions and millions of test cases, and that's not even an exaggeration. In a lot of times, our test cases are auto-generated based on the workflow. You can give us a contact center. We can crawl through the entire contact center and suggest to you what test cases needs to be done, how do you need to test it, and how do you need to automate the entire thing. Uh, Last but not the least is again I would say as regulations step up and as AI comes in more in this area, disaster recovery, audit trails, automation is going to be critical. Was critical, is critical, will continue to be. So that those are the four sort of sections we feel are critical as we continue to evolve.
Yeah, definitely, and I think having that lens across the contact center, and obviously you mentioned about CRMs there too, that can also help your company innovate, can't it? Because you can gather feedback and generate new ideas based off what like all these different contact centers issues and problems are. You can take more of a holistic approach to AI and technology rather than just chucking loads of AI on stacks. We can be really targeted with the type of implementations that we deploy.
Yeah. I mean, I can give you so many examples since we're talking about from a UK perspective. I mean, there's an energy watchdog that provides the failure to meet a service, and the companies have been fined 45 million or more pounds because
Mm.
they were not able to meet that basic regulatory environment. So and what triggers most of those is a basic customer complaint. You and me picking up the phone, calling the consumer, saying, "I this is what is not working," and
Mm.
can trigger into these $1 million fines that companies would need to because they have misled the customer into something that they didn't intend to. Like
Mm.
nobody creates a company and creates products to serve the customers to trick them or to do wrong, but it happens. And again, that's where Cyara as an insurance layer on top comes in because
Mm.
we are agnostic to the contact center platform, we are agnostic to your help desk and CRM tools. And sit on top, we can look at it holistically, provide you that insurance uh, to to not be running into any problems.
Yeah, and I think that plays a really important role because there's also a disconnect between people that are like testing AI into their contact center and those that are rolling AI out into their contact center. So I guess if people have that like insurance and clarity that there's somebody on top on their team, it can kind of help improve the rollout of AI as well, can't it? Because no one wants to get fined 45 million, for a mistake that they didn't intend to. So yeah, it can have like really big impacts, not just on one contact center, but the rollout of AI altogether, can't it?
Yeah, yeah, no, I think you're absolutely spot on because see, look, acceleration is the key when you're and simplification and acceleration. I mean, those are the two words that come to my mind. Look, everybody wants end-to-end monitoring. Everybody wants every company. Which name a CEO of any enterprise, Fortune 1000 company says, no, I don't want to manage that channel. No, you want to manage all channels, and you want absolutely the smoothest experience that needs to come to you. This reminds me of one of the stories that I've read. I'm sure you would have read as well regarding Amazon when they were having when Jeff Bezos was having a meeting with his execs, and the customer head leader or the CCO was talking about how difficult it is, and there's lines because there people are complaining about the long wait lines and the response times and all that. And the story goes that Jeff Bezos looked at him. So what are you doing here? Let's go and go fix the customer problems, which is as simply said. But everybody wants that simplification. Everybody wants that acceleration. And in those two areas, how do you actually thoughtfully plan for it, test it out, monitor it, and come back, and you're quickly able to react to things that are changed because of not your own sense, but it happened because there are so many people working towards the same solution. It could be a network issue, it could be a small little configuration issue, it could be a launch that happened and that got triggered to disrupt the rest of the product flows and workflows. So it could happen anywhere, and it does happen today. And why those long wait times and annoyances that happen to all of us? We all have faced that in our lives.
Yeah, definitely. And we're close to wrapping up now. But what question I always like to ask at the end is kind of like, what technology you believe will have the most significant impact on businesses over the next few years? Obviously, AI is a typical one, but I'm not sure whether you think that's going to rapidly deploy over the next few years, or whether you think we might have the early adopters going for it, and then we kind of like plateau over a little bit in terms of rollout.
Yeah, I mean, I think, believe it or not, there are a lot of companies that are still on-prem and they've not moved to SaaS. So I think the first one is the laggards who are still waiting. I think they have to move and adapt and go to cloud. Uh,
Hmm.
this I say that is because the world is changing from what used to be Moore's law, which was things would be predicted changed in 18 to 24 months. AI has helped push that to what is now I'm terming as a scaling law. The scaling law, anything that used to happen 1.5 and 2 years is now being done every 3 months. So that's how fast things are evolving. So that transformation means every company out there, and certainly the SaaS B2B businesses that are evolving, cannot think of just enhancing and extending. We have to go through a transformational innovation across. And that's what we are going through. We're inserting agentic AI into all the reasoning layer of our products across the board. In fact, we are launching what is Cyara Copilot as our again in July as our first step in that direction. We want to have agents that can actually do the work for the companies, alert them, help them, monitor it, and say this is the areas that you need to focus on, as opposed to being led by the humans now. So that I believe is a transformation that is happening and is on the journey, and very very happy to be part of this entire journey as well, me myself, because I feel these are transformational times, and in these transformational times, if we can make an impact, nothing like it.
Yeah, definitely. It's always great to feel like you're part of that journey of change. You know, it gets everyone out of bed in the morning. But just like to thank you for your time today, Rishi. You know, it's a conversation I could keep going on for forever and ever, but we are time limited, unfortunately. So yeah, just like to thank all of our viewers for tuning into another episode of the Big Update. I'm sure there'll be another one coming straight around the corner, and to look out for all of the Cyara content that'll be coming on the site over the next coming weeks. So yeah, thanks again, Rishi, for your time today.
No, thank you.